Hello and thank you for joining me today. Today I'm sharing with you a quick art journal page that I created based on Finnabair's Art Daily Cafe mood board for the month of July. This board had a lot of blue, it was focused on time and clocks, and there was a beautiful quote in there about being kind and things like that, but I took it a little differently. So anyways, this art journal page is out of an old cookbook that I found in a vintage, kind of like a five and dime store. Or I don't know, like a salvage army kind of thing. Anyways, so I put a really heavy coat of gesso on that because, as you saw at the beginning, it said cookies. So I covered that up quite a bit. Anyways, after my gesso, I went ahead and started placing random bits of paper, which I just cut up from a scrap that was on my desk. That scrap is actually from Prima's Pretty Mosaic collection. I only know that because it was left over from a project that I just made. So I'm just using a little bit of gel medium and I'm just placing my paper, trying to build up where my focal point is going to be, and I'm just adding texture to the background because when I start laying my different layers of color, they are going to need places to go. So I'm just going to continue to use some gel medium and place my paper, and that's going to be about it, I think. Yeah. Next I'm going to add a little bit more texture, and that's just with Finnabair's plaster. I'm sorry, not plaster paste. I always use plaster paste. It's my favorite. But today I used the paper paste because I really wasn't too worried about it being the exact detail of the stencil. I just wanted the texture. And the paper paste, it has paper in it, so it just sucks up the color and it's beautiful. So you can see I'm just using what's ever left on my little silicone brush and I'm just moving it around. Again, I wasn't too concerned. I just wanted the texture. Sorry, that kind of jumped there. I hit my camera, I guess. Anyhow, so now I'm just using the Impasto paint in Cobalt blue, and I'm just using a ton of water and moving it around the canvas, not the canvas, the art journal page. See, I don't do art journal pages. At least I don't usually record them. Something new today. Anyhow, after that was dry, I went ahead and started to build my cluster. And this is why I typically don't do art journal pages, because for me, I actually journal in them. So I put my thoughts down, I get them out of my head, and it's kind of like emotional therapy for me. So today I just wrote it down on a piece of paper. I folded it up, and there it is. I'm wrapping some string around it, and I'm including it in my page. And that's why I was comfortable sharing it today. So I'm going to attach that in my cluster, and you'll see me just play with my cluster until I'm happy. I have random bits of paper, an old dictionary page, some tags, a couple die cuts. I think they're from the Capri collection. Anything that was on my desk that was blue or would go with the theme of blue. I did use a Tim Holtz die cut out of white cardstock, and then I cut some of the Wildflowers out of cardstock from Tim's dies as well. I'm just kind of playing with different things and tucking paper into me until I feel happy with it. And you'll see me just keep moving things around, pulling and plucking, and just building my cluster. You can see that I kind of played off the circle from the clock with the second clock, with the, I guess it's a globe, maybe, I'm not sure. And I'm just tucking my little flowers in until I'm happy with the way the cluster looks. And I don't use a ton of glue in my art journal page because it's going in a book and I don't really ever do anything with it. So that way it makes it a little bit easier for me to kind of move things and tuck things in as I'm happy with it or not happy with it. Now here I think I'm almost done, so I'm adding some string and I'm going to add this butterfly, which, you know, it looks fine, but I decide that I'm not happy with it later, so it comes off pretty quick. But I want to add some shadows right now, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Stabilo pencil, and I'm just going to scratch along some of the texture places and some places that I want shadows, and then I'm going to go in with a watercolor brush and just kind of move those shadows around. And it's just an easy way to control where your shadow is going to be without pulling in any paint or using any water spray. You have a lot of control this way. So it's easy for me, it's what I do. So I'm going to spin it around and move that color around, and then I'll give it a quick dry. See, it's just, nothing's really glued down too well, so I can still lift and tuck. But I felt like it needed some more depth, so I went ahead and added some Midnight Sky. I did dilute this quite a bit, but you know, it still kind of goes along with the theme. It's just a little bit darker of a blue. So I'm adding some splatters, and I'm still deciding. I'm not really liking this too much. I feel like it's off a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add some stamping, because that's going to darken it up a little bit more. And I'm just randomly stamping around with some Archival ink, and I think it's like random scribbles or something. And then I'm going to edge the edge of the page with the same ink pad, because I'm just trying to darken it up a little bit, because I'm still not happy with it. So now I'm going to add some string to match the string in the center. And then I'm going to do some more over here on the side and glue that down a little bit better. And I'm still not going to be happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and rip off that butterfly and build up that cluster a little bit. And since what I journaled about was my dad, I went ahead and found a picture of a man. Granted, that is not my dad. That is out of Finnabair's sticker pack. But it worked. So I hope you like it. And thank you so much for watching. And you have a great day. Thanks again, guys. Bye.